Happy July. Today we're looking at the very first issue of Marvel's Godzilla King of the Monsters, written by Doug Moench with art by Herb Trimpe. Man, this is so cool. I got the original issue here, but we also got the omnibus too. And since this is the first issue we're looking at, let's just take a look at the omnibus itself and what we're dealing with. I got the direct market cover that has the cover for issue 4 on it, which is one of my all-time favorite covers of the series. Although my favorite cover's got to be issue 24. On the back, we got little thumbnails of all the covers of the issues in here. And as far as omnibus go, this is pretty thin, not too crazy. This is actually the perfect size for these books. It's very comfortable to read. You can hold it and read it with one hand. And we got that oversized artwork and everything, and it looks so clean. However, I am going to be slipping off this dust jacket here for the remainder of reviewing and reading, and this is what we're looking at here. We got this fantastic piece of artwork from the cowboy issue. So very cool. I love that. Godzilla looks menacing. And of course, this Godzilla doesn't look exactly like the traditional one. We got more of a green dinosaur thing going, but I'm loving it. It's really cool. The only thing that could make it perfect are tiny little ears, in my opinion, but this is so great. We're going to look at the omnibus version mainly, but we will be looking through the regular issues and the essential volume that has black and white, just to see the difference between the artwork and show why the omnibus really is the way to go, but you're super lucky and having a good time if you have the others as well. So let's dig into it. All right, so we dig on in, open that up. We get these great green pages here. A cool bit of artwork with this cool green tone all over it. Very fun. We got that Ronin there. Table of contents, as well as all the credits. I like this. It has the publication date on there, which I think is fun. August 77 is the first issue there. I didn't realize it was that late into the year. But very cool. And hey, 420. I'm eternally immature. A introduction here by Carl Kessel, and then boom, we're right into it. We got the first issue cover and a wonderful full-page just pin-up blast that just coming at you. And let's compare that. Check that out. How cool is that? And you can obviously see that this omnibus here is just that much richer. Like, the reds are really deep. The greens are bright, and there's more yellow to it. And like, look at the difference between the richness of the yellow of those little text blocks there. It's crazy. So as fantastic as it is to read through the original issues and just be able to hold them and touch them, and as if we just flip through here, you have these fantastic nostalgic ads and things inside, which are just so much fun. How can you not love that? And ooh, we're getting some spoilers for a little bit ahead ourselves, but like, come on, X-ray glasses, that's the best. All that stuff in there. Hey, there we go. But like, this just looks so much better. So except for like a few little bits of art up in here, this is what we're going to be working with, is the omnibus. But man, look at this Essentials volume with that black and white. That looks so good. I originally had this series through the Essential and the black and white, and I tell you what, it's so good. But man, it's fantastic to read it through with the colors, and I do really like this omnibus, and we're going to have a great time going through it. So this issue kicks off with a bang as Godzilla's making landfall in Alaska here. And I'm loving it. Doug Moench does such a great job of writing Godzilla here. As we're first being introduced to him, we see him tearing apart the Alaskan pipeline, and we get some subtle, not so subtle, pro-environmentalism messaging in here, but it's not groan-inducing. It doesn't make you roll your eyes, and there's an established like lore in his mythos of Godzilla being for the earth and anti-pollution. So I'm all right with that, and I think it's actually quite fitting and a great thing to put into the storyline for the main introduction of the character, because this book is aimed at a Western comic book audience and not a tokusatsu giant monster loving fans. It assumes great familiarity with the Marvel comics and a lack of familiarity with Godzilla himself, but if you know either, that's good. However, I will say, and you know what, let me shut up really quick because I want to flip the page, but I also want to point out I love this panel where we see his pitch black and red eyes there and that close-up. It looks so good. But yeah, they just do a great job of introducing everything there, and you might not know the Marvel characters if you're coming at this from a purely Godzilla fandom standpoint. However, even though it assumes familiarity with the Marvel characters, it does a great job of still letting you know who's who and what's what. Like, they don't go out of their way to introduce Dum Dum Dugan the same way they do the character of Yuriko Takagachi here. However, we get caught up with who Dum Dum Dugan is just based on his dialogue and his placement in the story. And by the end of the issue, even if you don't know him, you're very familiar. So, like, I like that quite a bit. This issue is an 8 out of 10 for sure. It's one of the best beginning introduction issue ones for a character I've read, and I've read a number of them, and that's not even with my love and familiarity with Godzilla. It's just because it's done expertly to a point where the people doing this comic know what they're doing. They're masters of the craft, and man, it shines through, I tell you. The action is top notch. Look at Godzilla crushing this jet here. Look at all this carnage going on. So cool. And you can follow everything precisely. This whole aerial battle. Like, I love it. Here on this page, we actually get a proper origin for Godzilla as we're finding out what happened with the atomic bomb being set off underwater. And we also get a tiny origin for our doctor character that we're going to be following, because it turns out he is actually the lone survivor of the first Godzilla attack, even though he was ironically the only dissenter of setting off the nuclear bomb. So very, very cool, and I love this page. I love it so much I want to show it off in a couple different forms. So we get a sense for the new characters we're being introduced to here, and we'll meet them fully properly in the last page of the book. And we get to know what S.H.I.E.L.D's all about and how they operate as they're trying to stop Godzilla here, as he's just tearing through everything, and they're just trying to redirect him from doing any more damage than he's already done. And of course, he does enough damage that they're not able to stop him or follow him, and you'll see that is a trend throughout the series. I love this panel so much, but I love this one too. They're all so good. And I tell you, it's so much fun to see Dugan get a spotlight as well, because he is a fun character. But here Dugan is introduced to the Japanese crew here, and we got the Dr. Takaguchi, who we met earlier. We got his assistant as well, Tamara, and we got his grandson, who I love that. His name's just Robert. But very fun, and what a fantastic issue. I could flip the page and show you the next issue, but you're going to have to tune in tomorrow to see what happens next. I hope you had fun. I had a great time going through this thing, flipping through, looking and comparing the artwork and just talking about the story and seeing what kind of fun they were having in 1977. But we're having that same kind of fun in 2025. So I'll see you tomorrow for issue 2.